ACLU or ACLJ. The difference is like night and day. Many people who don't vote and remain aloof to all political participation are unaware of the long history of the American Civil Liberties Union. That is one of the ACLU's greatest strengths. Although much newer, the ACLJ has quite a different history, and it would cause little embarrassment if it were discovered by more Americans. The ACLU has championed many causes since it was founded in 1920 by Mr. Roger Baldwin. Some of the most notable causes or rulings the ACLU supported have to do with abortion rights, homosexual and lesbian rights, and removal of prayer from the public schools. Some of its most notable positions were of lesser significance, but created much more press because they bordered on the frivolous and were more a nuisance than a legitimate cause. They adopted positions against Bible studies and prayer groups in public schools and the removal of manger scenes in public during the Christmas season. Can't you hear the voices of many grateful Americans in a resounding, gee thanks? Not to be mistaken for something that actually qualifies as the protection of our civil liberties is the new battlefield conjured up by the ACLU in Las Cruces, New Mexico. The three crosses adorning the city logo is a point of pride and history for the residents there, but for the ACLU, they have given cause for it to rear its head and wield the battle axe. It has resulted in making "whatever happened to common sense" being the most oft-used phrase in internet blogging history. But wait, it doesn't stop there. The latest fit the ACLU has begun concerns prayer offered by the U.S. military's chaplains. In short, the ACLU thinks it should be stopped. Phew, that's good thinking. I don't know about you, but the last thing I would want to have happen to me just before I went to battle for my country is to have my country tell me I couldn't go to God in prayer. In particular, they are trying to stop chaplains from praying in the name of Jesus Christ. In a volunteer force made up of mostly Christian men and women, isn't that an infringement of their religious freedom? In fact, it is more than that. The Constitution says Congress shall make no laws touching religion or to infringe the rights of conscience. What genius does it take to see that the ACLU is actually crying unconstitutional while they are proposing laws that are clearly unconstitutional? Don't want to be crass, but perhaps the ACLU lawyers and aides should all take a day off to watch Forrest Gump together. If I remember correctly, the most often repeated line in that movie is, "Stupid is as stupid does." Diametrically opposite the ACLU is the newly formed but no less formidable ACLJ. The American Center for Law and Justice, founded in 1990, is headed by Jay Sekulow, who is the ACLJ's chief counsel. He is a well-respected advocate for constitutional freedoms and has argued many cases before the U.S. Supreme Court. The Center for Law and Justice has successfully argued cases and supported positions in other cases, which resulted in an impressive list of good common-sense decisions and rulings. A short list of the accomplishments of the ACLJ is as follows. A guarantee for minors who want to be involved in the political process by protecting their free speech rights in political affairs. Rulings to protect the constitutional rights of religious groups to obtain equal access to public facilities. Protection for the free speech rights of pro-life demonstrators. The right for public school students to form and participate in religious organizations such as Bible clubs. The ACLJ is currently on the radio waves daily, soliciting signatures for a petition to stop the ban on prayer by the military chaplains. The response is said to be very powerful at the least. Upwards of 10,000 people a day are asking to have their names added to the petitions. It is shameful that Americans must pound away to ward off organizations like the ACLU, whose agenda looks like it originated in La La Land. The Constitution is under attack by those who feign that they are working to protect it. After all, this is America, and they have a constitutional right to mess with the Constitution. Let's not mess with their right to do that, but let's hope and pray, if they don't stop us, that they don't prevail. The Bible tells the believer to respect the rulings and laws provided by the secular rulers, because the powers that be are all ordained of God. Romans 13 verse 1. Almost all Bible-believing Christians take this mandate seriously and endeavor to be law-abiding citizens. You would think that this respect for secular law would hold things in balance between those who believe in the Bible and revere the Constitution and groups like the ACLU. But it does not. The ACLU seems bent on removing all reference and allusion to God on any level. What would the result be if they were successful in this play? I choose to let the Bible answer that question. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient. Romans 1 verse 28. Thank you for your valuable time, and I humbly look forward to speaking with you about new issues every day.